In Korea, there's a lot of really nice apps you can use to find apartments and housing. Here in Korea, the healthcare is very fast. You can go to the hospital and you get help right away. Even if it's just a tiny cold, you can go there and you will have a doctor look at you very fast, very soon. 안녕하세요, 소피아입니다. 저는 스웨덴 사람이에요. Hi, hello. A little bit more than a year. The nice people and the fun culture, and also I'm working as a model. Yes, I do. It's very nice. Everything is open 24/7. There's always something to do. So today we're gonna talk about top 5 surprising reasons why Korea is such a good place to live in. So number 1 is housing. I mentioned this before, that in Korea there's a lot of really nice apps you can use to find apartments and housing, and it's very fast paced. Like you can move next week if you want to. It's very safe. Like you can go to those realtors and help you find apartments and the contracts you're signing and sending all the money. So I feel like it's a very safe and good system to find house here in Korea. In Sweden, it's more, you can get your own apartment and you can rent one, but it's also very common that you sub-rent your apartment to someone. So it's more of an unsafe method because I send them my key money, my money, and I just hope I get it back. It's more unsafe, and they could also be like, yeah, you have to move out in a month because I'm selling my apartment, or like I'm moving back, you have to move out. So you always have to move so much in Sweden. It's always like, oh yeah, I lived here for 3 months and now I have to move 1 month, and then again, it's always just so uncomfortable. When I looked for my apartment that I have now, I was looking at apartments in the area I wanted to live in through one of the apps. I was just doing some research, but I ended up asking my friend for help. So we went to a realtor in the area and he showed me around. So we told him what I wanted and he showed me 7 different apartments, and I picked one that day that I really liked. So I was very lucky. In 5 days I moved. Number 2 is payment methods. Here in Korea, you have a lot of different ways of paying, not only cash or card. You can also pay with Kakao Pay, Samsung Pay. You have different apps and you can wire money. For example, if you forget your wallet at home, no worries, you have your phone, so you can always pay. And with the T-Money card, that I think is really good in Korea, is that you can actually pay in the taxi too. You can also, I think, buy drinks in some of the vending machines. Yeah, so in many places around the world, if you buy street food, you always have to pay in cash because the chances that you can pay by card is very, very small. But here in Korea, you can pay for your street food too. So super smart. Number 3 is healthcare. Here in Korea, the healthcare is very fast. You can go to the hospital and you get help right away. Even if it's just a tiny cold, you can go there and you will have a doctor look at you very fast, very soon, and you will get the treatment you need. And I also heard that the Korean healthcare is supposed to be one of the best one in the entire world. I guess the certification and the help people get here is very, very high. So that's really good. In Korea, almost everyone has healthcare insurance, which makes it very available for them to visit the hospital if they need to. It's very cheap for them. I don't think they really pay that much. If they go to the hospital, I think they only might be paying for the medication. Compared to I have a lot of friends from America that I met in Korea. There's yeah, it's so expensive for me to go to the hospital in the US, so I go to Korea to visit the hospital. As a foreigner, it's more expensive to visit the hospital here. So I was kind of shocked when they told me how expensive it is in the US, so they'd rather go to Korea to visit the hospitals and get checkups. Yeah, that's crazy to me that how you could end up paying $4,000 for taking an ambulance to the hospital. That's not nice. That's very mean. It's hard to say how it is in Europe in general because it's so different depending on where you live. I'm from the north of Europe, from the Scandinavia, so in Sweden the healthcare is very cheap. It's very affordable for everyone, but on the other hand, you have to wait a lot more to get help. Even if I am sick, I always have to call and make a reservation if it's not life-threatening, or if I broke my arm, of course I will just go to the ER. But if I have a cold, I have some symptoms, I always have to call, and if I don't make it that day to get on the list to have someone talk to me, I have to call the next day, and usually they just tell you oh, take an aspirin, sleep some, call back in 2 days. So it's more you have to wait and you actually have to fight to get the help you need sometimes. Number 4 is online shopping. Here in Korea, you can literally stay in your room the entire time. You don't even have to leave the house because you can order everything. You can order food online, you can order a new bed, you can order like a shower curtain, you can even do your grocery shoppings online. So if you're a person who works a lot and maybe get home late, you can order the food through your apps on your phone and you'll have it delivered to your doors. Super convenient. Also have this kind of something called like rocket delivery. If you order before midnight, you will have it at your door the next morning, or at least the next day. And I never really thought about like extra payments for shipping in Korea. Not that you have to pay extra for shipping compared to like in Sweden at least, and I guess in the rest of the world, like in Europe. So like depending on how heavy it is, you will probably have to pay more, and the shipping is very slow compared to here. That's the thing, like in Sweden, I wouldn't do online shopping for a sweater because it's cheaper for me and faster for me to just go to the store and get it. Since I have to pay extra to get it shipped, and then it might take me even a week, 2 weeks if you're unlucky, depending on where you bought it from. It's easier for me to just go to the store and cheaper too. Even if you receive your packets here in Korea when you're not at home, they will just like leave it outside your door and no one will touch it, no one will like take it. In Sweden, I think they won't even leave it. I think you actually have to receive it and sign a paper that you got it, because like depending on what it is, they don't want to be responsible for someone taking it. So usually in Sweden, it gets shipped to like a post office or a grocery store, or where you have to show off like a text message like with the name and like a number you got, so you can like take it out and show them identification just so no one will take it from you. So it's like a different system. I heard that in America, it's very usual that people steal your package if it's left outside your house on the porch. So in Korea, like no one touches your stuff. So if they see a package, it's like, oh, okay. It could be there for 2 weeks and no one touches it. Number 5 is public safety. Wherever you go in Korea, it's very safe. Even in the middle of the night, because there's always different lights, street lights and neon signs. There's always people around, and you also have like CCTVs everywhere. Like even if you go into an alley, there will be CCTVs, and if there's a car parked there, the chances are very high that they also have a camera installed in their car. So if you were to get robbed or something, and you call the police, they will contact the owner of the car and like ask to see the black box and the video inside it. So it's very safe to just like walk around alone, and even leaving your stuff like in a coffee shop, like leaving your laptop and your phone. No one would touch it. Like they just don't touch your things. It's like they mind their own business and you mind yours. So that's very nice. It seems like everyone just agrees on like, I'm not gonna touch anyone else's stuff, and I like that. There's a lot of pickpocketing in Europe and in Central Europe. I heard like a lot of friends who went there that sometimes people even come up to them in the street and like threaten them and be like, give me your camera. So it's not safe in the same way. There's a lot of people, but they can be very like smooth about it, so people don't notice what's going on. And I don't think we have as much CCTV, at least not like in Northern Europe, because we have so many laws around protecting our personal like space and stuff. Like I can't be filmed whenever I'm at some place. Like in a coffee shop, they will have signs like, we're having CCTV here, just so you know that you're being filmed. So we have different type of laws around that. In Sweden, I think it's very safe. The only thing I would say is during nighttime, if you walk home alone, there's no CCTVs and there's not so many people around. So if something happens, I mean, even if you just like pass out in the snow, like being drunk, you can actually die from that just because it's so cold and you freeze to death because no one will see you, because no one might pass that street because not that many people. I mean, in one way, I feel very safe in Sweden, but on the other hand, if I get robbed on the street, I just have to try to explain how this person looked like. There might not be so many CCTVs that capture this person, so it will be more difficult to get my wallet back, for example. No, I don't think so. Like, no, I've been surprised even since I came here. Like, everything is so easy, convenient. It's just like a nice, easy lifestyle to have here. Everything, like as soon as you have like your Kakao Pay or like you have everything set up, everything is so simple. Everything works so perfect. I like it. I don't know, I think it just like, as being a foreigner in Korea is difficult because you always have to fix with your visa stuff and there's always things going on. So that's the only thing I would say that it's difficult just because I'm a foreigner to get all the paperwork done and they change some laws and I have to fix something new. So that's the only thing that's been like, oh, should I just like move back to Sweden where I don't have to do all this? But all the like pros definitely outweigh all the cons, so I like being here. So today I talked about some surprising reasons why Korea is a good place to live in. So if you are a foreigner watching this video, considering moving here, I think you definitely should. Even though it might be difficult with some paperwork and visas, it will all be worth it in the end. You will have so much fun. So if you like this video, please leave a comment down below and don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye!